Ladies and gentlemen, 2009 Lexus ISF, clearly far from stock, but of course still powered by the glorious Lexus naturally aspirated V8, making 416 horsepower, 371 pound-feet of torque. These normally weigh right around 3,800 pounds, but the owner has done a few mods, including this rear seat delete, and also swap the driver's seat for a bride bucket. So we're saving a couple hundred pounds from that. Owner does track this. He has a separate set of wheels for that, but here this is the street setup. We have the Rays 57 CR wheels in black chrome. It is a more rare color. Looking really good, wrapped in Maxxis VR2 tires, 275 section width, all around square setup. In terms of mods, as always, full mod list down in the description. We have PPE unequal length headers, Figs oil cooler, which is pretty cool. It's actually where the fog light used to be, right there. That's the regular fog light, and that's for the oil cooler. RR Racing tune on 91 octane, muffler delete, S3 suspension coilovers, 16K front, 14K rear, endless MX72 plus pads, Bride Xero CS, the SARD wing, and the interior, you're also gonna notice this aftermarket wheel. So pardon me as I struggle to get my fat American ass in this bride bucket seat designed for much smaller Japanese people. Okay then. Oh, I love this. So race car. That is sick. Neo Grinta steering wheel with the Works tilt race hub. And this right here is the Frog Drive switch case, which also includes these paddle shifters. And we are going to put traction off, VSE off, and sport mode. Wow, the headers, unequal length headers, and the muffler delete, and the insulation being removed, can really enjoy that engine note. Although the owner does say that it drones on the highway when you're, hovering around 2,000 RPM. That glorious engine is mated to an Aisin 8-speed torque converter transmission, one of the earlier 8-speed automatics. Remember, this car came out more than 15 years ago. Wow, to reach for the indicator stock from the steering wheel is quite a distance. It is a cold day, feeling a bit traction limited. Dude, this is so cool. You take a sports sedan like the ISF, and the owner then is like, all right, fuck the sedan part, let's remove the rear seats, let's focus on the sport part, let's focus on the track part, in fact. This smaller steering wheel is also giving more feedback. Part of that too is going to be suspension mods and alignment. But you're getting more feedback than the standard Lexus F models, whether that's the ISF, the GSF, the RCF. This was the first ever F to come out. And I like the steering, it's quite direct. We do have double wishbone in the front and multilink in the rear. Lexus never really compromising on geometry, not cutting any corners there. Good interior build quality, but you are hearing a bit of squeaks and rattles. Not sure where that's coming from and if it's the aftermarket or the OEM components. A lot of things have been stripped and changed in this car. Stock, these were already on the stiffer side of things. People complained that it wasn't as comfortable of a ride. These did not have adaptive dampers. Not the first gen ISF. And this one, as a 2009, also has an open diff, no LSD until the 2010 model year. 2010 and onwards, they did have an LSD, a Torsen. Quite a slow downshift there. Admittedly, I wasn't pushing the car too hard, and that influences the shift speed. Oh, that sounds good. Those downshifts, man. Dude, I'm liking these brakes. OEM, it comes with Brembo 6-piston in the front, 4-piston calipers in the rear. And you still have that sport sedan feeling. So the beginning initial travel is a bit softer, but then it gets firmer and easier to modulate as you start getting more into the brake pedal. If you're expecting Lexus comfort and ride quality, think again. I mean, this is obviously more track focused, so stiff suspension, but not punishing in any way. You're feeling all the texture in the road, and not amazing body control, as you can see here, still getting quite a bit of lean. Now these shifts aren't feeling as slow, right? So it depends on how you're driving the car, how hard you're pushing it. That influences the shift logic. Decently quick for a car of this age. Yeah, very direct feeling front end. Even with the weight saving, still a hefty vehicle. So not surprising that to get this level of ride comfort and, you know, the balance point really is what it is. We're not going too stiff, we're not going too soft and comfortable. You are still going to have a bit of body roll. The centerpiece, of course, is this engine. Actually a really quick shift. It's not very consistent, but most of the time if you are driving it harder, accelerating harder, then the shifts they're quick enough. It's no ZF8 speed in modern BMWs, but you're also not going to be complaining that it's too slow or not smooth enough. And let's give you guys a pull. Oh man, I love the way it bounces off the rev limiter. Alright, for whatever reason, that actuation, I wasn't trying to bounce off the rev limiter again. I was trying to shift there, as you guys could see, but it didn't actually register. So the actuation of these pedals, the owner was also telling me they can be a bit finicky. You really got to press right in the middle at the right point. Yeah, interesting. They're not magnetic, so you don't have that super hyper crisp actuation. They feel pretty light. I mean, these are carbon fiber. What a car. A good number of people actually track their ISFs, and you can see why, right? You have good foundation, good bones to build from. This amazing engine, you have great geometry with your suspension. It is heavier, right? But these are also quite tail happy and also very progressive as you do get the tail out. This thing must be a riot on track. I mean, it's not really hiding its weight. Give you another pull, a proper pull this time. You gotta pull right before red line because of that slight delay. Otherwise you're gonna hit the rev limiter. And although the new IS500 does make about 40 more horsepower, this does not feel sluggish at all. That one also is about 100 pounds heavier. Still has a better power to weight ratio, but good amount of mid-range torque here too. A little bit of skipping on some of these bumps, which doesn't give you that much confidence. As you change direction, you really feel that mass. And you could dial some of that out by going even stiffer with the suspension, but then you're going to compromise the ride comfort and the ride quality. And the owner does drive this, you know, all the way to Buttonwillow from here in Vegas, and going on the highway in a super stiff car, just especially once you're in your 30s, as both me and the owner are, then you know it's a bit punishing. He doesn't even have rails on these bucket seats, so luckily, you know, ISFs are automatic, so even though I'm really close, you guys can see how much my knees are bent. There's no clutch for me to have to modulate here, no heel toe for me to have to rotate my right foot. So not a big issue here. I think one thing that would really help this vehicle is getting an LSD. So there are a few points back there on those tighter corners where I'm trying to get some rotation, and you can get a tiny bit by really playing around with the weight and such, but to get it to rotate the way you want with throttle at corner exit, you really need an LSD, and the owner is considering getting an OS Geiken 1.5-way LSD as his next mod. I think that's really going to elevate the experience of this car, help it both on the canyons as well as on track. Again, having to reach super far to grab that turn signal stock, but granted, I have the wheel telescoped quite a bit, and this whole assembly here pushes out even further than you normally would have in OEM, so keep that in mind. Nice. I love he even added the Apple CarPlay module, which to me is so important for a daily. He used to daily this before. He got an LS as his daily. A Lexus man through and through, which I love. So, to get out, look at the standard telescoping, and then Now, actually, what I forgot to do is I gotta flip this bad boy up. There we go. Otherwise, it gets stuck here with the motion. So now, see, you can't actually rotate it up and down. That makes it easier to get in and out with the bucket seat. Oh. Big thanks to the owner, Jason, for letting me review his modified ISF. Let me know what you think with a comment down below. And if you want your car reviewed, visit us on jabalandcars.com. Fill out the form on the homepage, and we'll be in touch. Much love, my friends.